Yeah, Josh, Google came into the year as kind of a sort of also ran in the AI race. OpenAI was clearly in the lead with their ChatGPT and latest GPT models, but that all seemed to change this year with the release of Gemini 3 just recently. Now companies are saying that they're more interested in Gemini 3. We're also seeing some growth numbers out of Gemini 3 that are really starting to give a little bit of pushback against ChatGPT as the leader in that space. In fact, Deepwater Asset Management managing partner Gene Munster wrote that Google will be the best performing Mag 7 stock in calendar year 26. And, this is all coming as Google continues to push forward with its AI models. And, it's important to note that while Google is ahead now, it doesn't mean that it's going to be ahead forever. OpenAI launched their own red alert, something that Google had to do when OpenAI initially launched ChatGPT back in 2022. And so they've managed to catch up and then some at this point. And we'll just have to see what that means then for OpenAI.
What, Dan, would you say is Google's secret weapon or weapons with OpenAI? Would it be, Dan, would you focus on distribution there with search and Chrome and Android?
Yeah, I mean, there's a number of things, right? At first glance, there's Android, as you said. You can use Gemini on an Android phone right away. You don't need to download an app. You don't need to go to a website. That's kind of a friction point for people versus ChatGPT, which requires you to download an app or go to the web, unless you're using something like Apple Intelligence, which has ChatGPT built in, but it's not necessarily something you can use regularly on the fly. They also have the ability to make money, right? They're bringing in cash flow positive because they have their advertising business. They have their Google Cloud Platform business. They have YouTube. And so they have all of these different points where they can pull revenue from and then put that money to work. Whereas OpenAI has more than $1 trillion of commitments for spending over the next few years, but they're not cash flow positive at this point. Sure, they have revenue, but it's not overcoming the amount that they have to spend. And so you could see that kind of back and forth between, OpenAI, obviously an innovative company, Google, a long-standing tech juggernaut, invented the technology behind these transformer models, and now standing on top. It's beyond their AI as well. They also won kind of a ruling in one of their antitrust cases where they weren't forced to give up Chrome, and they could still enter into deals where they allow companies like Apple to distribute Google's search on their devices. And so, they were winning on legal fronts. To a degree, Waymo is also a big win as well. They're now doing freeway driving and things of that nature, expanding to more cities. And then again, just on AI, they continue to seem to dominate at this point. But as I said, that doesn't mean it's going to be that way in 2026. OpenAI is going to be working on better models, and Anthropic is also working on better models. So it's going to be this continuous back and forth. But for now, it appears that Google's in the lead.
Dan, thank you. Appreciate it.